I saw Matilda the Musical a couple days ago, and if there's something that I could say I love about...
Like you saw that it existed, or you
No, I
actually
saw the
viewed
show.
music? Oh, okay.
It's great. If you saw the movie, it's great. It's even better because it's got music in it. And, all the little children had their fun little Cockney accents coming and talking out. And little Brit accents are just coming, I tell you, hello, I'm Matilda. I can move stuff with my brain.
Now, you know how the Beetlejuice musical did get the rights to the Deo song. Did they get to the rights to Send Me On My Way? The fucking...
No, they didn't.
Send Me On My Way.
But I thought it was a really, really good choice for the, they wrote a song for the kid eating that big cake. And it was just, oh, you want that cake, boy? You eat that cake. Get that cake, boy. You gotta eat the cake. Cake it up, cake it up with cake. Watch out now, he's gonna eat the chocolate cake.
Are you sure this wasn't Hamilton you went to see?
It's very inspired.
There's a big fat kid and I gotta say, I wanna see this motherfucker eat up some cake. Whoa, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's time for a load. And I'm talking about a load of BS. That's right, a load of BS, the greatest show on the planet, featuring the two best damn men of all time, the official Hobbs and Shaw sponsored podcast. And I'm talking about my co-host, he, the B to the L-A-K-E. That's right, it's Blake Tanner.
Nah, I don't think we're sponsored by Hobbs and Shaw, but we are close enough. We're handing out their swag. As a matter of fact, here he is. The swag man cometh. It is the S, Scottye Moore.
I'm doing what in the business is called physical humor right now, as I put on my Hobbs and Shaw bandana and rock my Hobbs and Shaw towel, because we talked about this before we recorded yesterday. My dad took my cousin, who's he is a gamer, an elite gamer. He took him to the Southern Fried.
Oh my god, we talked about him on the podcast, didn't we?
No, we talked about him like right before we recorded,
okay.
JWF, I think. And my dad comes back and he's like, I don't think he's never been to a real convention, so he didn't realize how much shit he's gonna come back with.
Yep.
And so he just pulled out this massive bag and I went, what the hell's in that? He goes, well, here's a fan you plug into your phone. Here's a water bottle. Here's a ring light for selfies. Here's a Hobbs and Shaw bandana. Another Hobbs and Shaw bandana. Another. And it was like a magician as he kept pulling out more bandanas promoting Hobbs and Shaw. And then like 3 towels for Hobbs and Shaw that I'm now using as the official BS sweat rag.
Yep. Oh, can I have some of those towels? Because I found out, like, last week, washing towels for the first time, new towels that I bought for $5 each.
Yeah.
Man, it ain't fun to wash new towels. They's lint.
Oh, okay.
So, I'm just doing my thing, and this mundane, opening this washer up in this public-ass washer. Open it up, it looks like there's just, like, death in there. It looks like it tore my towel apart. It looks like the thing had just fallen to pieces because the amounts of clumped lint in this public washing machine that someone else is going to have to use after me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it ain't my job to clean that out. I'll pull some, but this is too far gone. I almost wanted to leave a note that said, I'm so sorry.
No, you leave a towel that you've spray painted I'm sorry onto.
And so for that point, it's led to a week of me getting out of the shower, washing off with a towel, and just turning into, if chicken pox were black.
Yeah.
Then it would just be like these horrible little sores all over my body. That was just from the bad towels that I bought. So don't skimp when you're buying towels, kids.
Yeah. Can I just say, I don't know what credit union or what bank you go through for banking, and I don't know if you have a rewards card, but I found out approximately 2 days ago that apparently the card I use through my bank has a reward point system that they
Lord.
never told me about, period, until I got a random email from a company I've never heard of that said, Mr. Moore, your points are going to expire soon. You have 19,000. And I went, oh, okay.
Is it like tickets at Dave and Buster's? Could you actually buy a good thing with it?
It's like ticks at, because I saw 19,000 and I'm like, oh, maybe this is something they recently started doing. And then I found out, oh, no, it's not, because for every $2 you spend, you get a point, meaning I had to spend $38,000 to get these points. So that's accumulated over several years, I have to assume. And in case you're wondering what I was able to purchase with it, they gave me the options of a hammock, a Canon PowerShot camera.
I thought you were just gonna say a cannon.
A whole fucking blunderbuss. What was the other ones? A full 5.1 surround sound system.
Hey.
And I spent about 2 hours on that website because I would look at it on the website, then go to Amazon and read reviews. And fun fact, everything had bad reviews on it. Even the Canon PowerShot I was able to buy, they were like, just get an upgrade. You could use this is as good as the iPhone 7. And I'm like, well, fuck, that's what I have. And so I think you'll appreciate what I settled on.
Okay.
Because it's not gonna be good. It's definitely not going to be good because it's from...
Did you settle for the equivalent of just saying, man, I got a bunch of tickets, but I don't like anything on the shelves. Can I just get these in candy?
I have 50,000 spider rings on the way to my house right now. No. It's from one of those, like, catalog kind of places that sell, like, like a VAT-19, like a, stuff you buy. Is it stuff rich people buy? Is that the website?
Yeah, it's like what shit you can afford, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's like one of those.
Mm-hmm.
And I've mainly purchased it for this show, and especially because we are going to be, fuck it, we can just say it, we're doing a live show at Dragon Con, and I think it's going to be where this makes its debut, because I purchased the Whiskey Gentleman's whiskey kit. Blake, I'm gonna make my own bourbon, and we're gonna, depending on how long it takes to age, debut it at Dragon Con. Yeah, from what I saw.
Okay, hold on. I'm back.
From what I saw, apparently you make it with grain alcohol, so at least that part of it is already there, and then we just add flavoring to it to make it taste like bourbon. And at first I'm like, oh, this is fun. It'll make me like maybe a little bit of whiskey. It makes over a gallon of whiskey. So we're gonna be rolling in that bitch, like double arming this like a child, plopping it up on the desk. And fun fact, we're not allowed to give out liquor to our audience at Dragon Con.
Good!
But what I am planning is to hire a person in a bear suit to run in and just wildly start pouring shots, but he's not part of our show. Any bears that come out during the BS performance are not part of our show.
Well, what the bear could do, if, hypothetically speaking, we tell the bear what to do, which of course we won't, is he'd come in with a water gun, and he'd just fill that bad boy up, and then he'd just kind of like, into my mouth.
My other plan, we save the whiskey for ourselves, and in tribute to our first ever live show we did during college, we give out hug barrels to the audience.
Fruit barrels.
Those little hug barrels, but what I'm gonna do is get a needle, pull out a little bit of it, then get some vodka and inject the vodka into the hug barrels. Then you shake them up and throw them out like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I think that's actually illegal.
I mean, what would the crime be? Hug tampering.
That, and there is definitely something where if you give somebody something, you don't tell them exactly what's in it. then it's bad.
No. Half of them will have alcohol, half of them won't. So we'll tell the audience there might be. Wait a minute. Do you think that's a way we could get around it? Could this be the loophole? Is we say, we don't know if we're giving out alcohol. We don't know which of these have the alcohol in them.
You have worked so hard to get us a live show, and you are trying so bad to ruin it.
Have you not? That's what I do, baby. We get the live show, and the minute I'm like, it's confirmed. We're definitely doing the live. Yeah, we're definitely doing the live show. Oh, fuck. Let's ruin this. I want to make them regret everything they've ever done.
Is that your life creed?
That's my life creed is you're gonna regret this.
Thank you for the opportunity. You're gonna regret it.
Yeah. No. I'm gonna put that on my business cards now. Just like, Scottye Moore, let's get in touch. You'll regret it. The end. In fact, I just started a Fiverr account, so also anyone out there who wants some graphic design or voiceover work done, hit your boy up. Or audio editing, whatever, I don't give a shit. I just want money. I could just, at the end of each thing, like, I think I can set a message to give them after they've paid, and just, it says, you will regret what you have done this day.
Nah, I hope you enjoy that voice chat I did right there. This is my real voice, just letting you know that's how deep my range goes. You're gonna regret this, cowpoke, just letting you know.
No. That voice, that still has like a soothing, I would listen to that narrator. That's got a Sam Elliott, Big Lebowski vibe.
But if that's the problem.
But if I did something like this and was just like, hey, man, thanks for the opportunity. I'm willing to give you a narration, I guess. It's whatever. It's like, oh, fuck.
I just wanted to let you know that I am high right now.
You were doing a pitch perfect impersonation of a famous drag queen who's also my least favorite drag queen named Alaska Thunderfuck.
Well, maybe, I'm just...
She does her drag so well, but when she does her backstage interviews, she's like, I didn't realize this was an acting competition. I'm like, I need you to stop! Alaska, calm down!
It physically hurts me whenever, I find myself going into, like, a vocal fry voice. Because I do it when I'm in those situations where it's like, I feel meek and terrified.
Okay,
like,
so a man pulls a gun on Blake Tanner, and the immediate reaction is...
I just don't. I wasn't really feeling this. I'm sorry. Do you want... I'm sorry.
Money. I don't have the money.
This is all my fault, I'm sure.
I have a wife and kid. Come on, man. Fuck you.
I'm sorry. I was lying about the wife and kids.
It's not even fear in your voice. It's just you get high, basically.
I'm sorry. This is my grim resignation. Actually, just pull the trigger. It's fine.
Pull the fucking trigger on me. I don't care,
man. I'm already dead inside after the way I've handled myself tonight. It's...
So, also, we were talking before the show.
I'm sorry, this is my first time being robbed.
The robber puts the gun back in. He's like, oh, thank God, it was my first time, too. Can we just, like, talk? I didn't want to do this, either.
Yeah, I was just afraid that I would finish too early, like, give you the money, like...
Fuck you! Fuck you! So, as I was saying before Robert Blake interrupted me, you told me you went to see a certain musical before the show. And
I didn't know if you knew that Matilda was made into a musical.
Blake, this is 2 weeks in a row Matilda has been brought up on this podcast. And can I make a sad admission?
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen Matilda.
All right, let me run it down real quick.
Okay, Magic Girl gets blood dumped on her. Wait, no, that's the other Magic
Carrie.
Girl.
Nope, wrong one. Okay, so real quick. Little girl is born. Little girl has bad parents. In the movie, Danny DeVito's the dad. little girl's bad parents mistreat her. She has a brother at some point. He's either an idiot or mean to her, or both. I can't remember. She goes to school. School's real bad, except for the one teacher she has, who's really nice to her, and the first person that's really nice to her. And there's a horrible, evil head mistress called Miss Trunchbull, and she used to throw hammers Olympically.
Now, see, I know about Miss Lunchable. See, I'm aware of the movie. I've just never seen it.
I'm sorry, you know about who?
Miss Lunchable?
Okay, that's what I thought you said.
She gives multiple pepperonis to the kids, and if you get an extra pepperoni, that means she likes you.
Yes. So the kids pull pranks on Miss Lunchable. Matilda gets them out of it because Matilda is actually super smart.
Yeah.
And she reads books all the time. And except for this one time where the one boy has to eat a big old cake and he gets real sick, and she throws him in the chokey. And so eventually Matilda gets superpowers because she finds out that the teacher she likes, Miss Honey, is actually the Lunchable's niece. That's it. And Miss Lunchable killed both of her parents to get all of her parents' things. And so once Matilda finds that out, and she finds out how to do her cool, great mind powers, she scares the Lunchable off.
Now, I will say, Salty Frank...
And then at the very end, she lives happily ever after because her parents basically abandon her, and she lives happily with her teacher.
Well, Salty Frank's summary is just, magic girl doesn't get seatbelt as baby becomes magic. So, I think I understand perfectly now.
Definitely magic. The play follows that pretty closely, except there's music. There's good music.
There's a rap song about a fat boy eating cake.
Yep. It was. I'll let you leave that to your imaginations as to what that really was.
Yeah.
So, if you don't know, that Matilda was based on a book written by Roald Dahl.
The man who's got... He has a buck wild series, like all of his books. Like he did James and the Giant Peach,
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is probably his most famous work. He did Fantastic Mr. Fox, the BFG, and a bunch of other stuff that's not as well known over here. But he's big across the pond.
Yeah. I'm happy you did your research as I was quietly going to my phone typing in Roald Dahl books.
It's alright. I already had his Wikipedia page pulled up.
Did she write holes? Nope, wasn't. Nope. Then I don't know anything.
And this dude, he was a weird dude. He's got a weird writing style that they don't really accurately portray enough in the book, or in the movies about his books.
Yeah.
Which is buck wild because if you've ever seen James and the Giant Peach.
Yeah.
Ho. But I was going through some of his good books, and I remembered something, and I haven't looked it up yet because I wanted us to have the surprise of the fact that we are going to go over the sequel book that he wrote to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Thank you! I was going to bring this up earlier!
Because I remember, all I remember about that book is it's what happens right after the end of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, because they're in that big glass elevator, and they fly up into space for some reason, and I think aliens eat the president.
I remember, doesn't it go into Willy Wonka's past? Like, isn't he a safari man? Nope, I'm thinking of the Tim Burton one, I'm sorry.
That is the Tim Burton one, yep.
Alright, okay, well, I know I read the sequel, I just have no earthly idea what it's about.
I mean, I remember I was so young when I read these books that I didn't read them. My dad read them to me.
Yeah.
So the sequel book, which I'm amazed that he read to me, I pulled up the Wikipedia page, and I just kind of want to go over a little bit of it.
I believe it was Charlie and the Chocolate Factory's Bogus Journey was the title of the sequel.
Yep.
He fights the Grim Reaper to get the Chocolate Factory back.
And then he wrote a third sequel book like 20-something years later with Keanu Reeves.
And then he shaved Keanu Reeves' face, and the internet instantly hated it because, well, Keanu got a baby fat face, huh?
Yeah. So, Jesus fucking Christ, this is the first sentence. It picks up where the previous book left off. Charlie and family aboard the Great Glass Elevator. Mm-hmm. The elevator accidentally goes into orbit, and Mr. Wonka docks them at the Space Hotel USA.
Uh, what? Yeah. I believe the title is, in fact, Charlie and the Great Grass Elevator.
It was, no, Charlie and Mars Attacks, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Their interception of the hotel is mistaken by approaching astronauts and listeners on Earth, including the President of the United States, as an act of space piracy, and they are accused of being enemy agents, spies, and aliens. Shortly after their arrival, they discover the hotel has been overrun by dangerous monsters known as vermicious canids. Oh, that's where they come from.
I do remember vermicious canids. And I remember reading this when I was like 12 and 13. Like, I was an older age. I just remember seeing like, oh, this has a sequel? Well, I gotta check that out. And then for some reason back then, I'm like, oh, they're on the moon. This makes perfect sense. It's fine. This is all right.
So, they distract the aliens, the vermicious canids, by making them spell out the word scram, because they have a compulsion to do so. So I'm guessing that if you drop a pile of salt in front of them, they have to pick them all up and count them while they spell out scram.
So this is on par with the villain in Ernest Scared Stupid being afraid of milk.
The milk. I'm pretty sure that this is just the plot of Alien.
It does sound like the plot of Alien. Also, Frank has given us his headcanon ending, which is a jump cut to a 16-year-old Charlie Bucket waking up at a 9-to-5 job at the Golden Corral, working at the chocolate fountain.
Oh, man. So, holy shit. They burn the canids up in orbit somehow, and they save them from the threat. Willy Wonka saves Charlie's remaining grandparents who won't get out of bed.
I thought you were gonna say Charlie's remains. He sacrificed himself, burned up alongside them, and then Wonka picked them out of orbit and was like, we will give him the rest.
It's even more buck wild, buddy. Mr. Wonka tries to rejuvenate Charlie's grandparents by giving him a great formula called Wonkavite.
Yeah.
And they all take more than they need, subtracting 80 years of their lives. 2 of the grandparents become babies, but the third one, 78-year-old grandmother Georgina, just vanishes.
I remember this plot point!
And they have to find her. They have to go into the before life, afterlife, and track her down.
Oh, I thought she was in the fucking quantum realm. They gotta go track her down, then unsnap Thanos.
Holy shit. And so, anyway, they save her after an even more buck-wild adventure that I don't think we have time to get into.
Yeah.
And they turn her 358 years old.
Yeah, because fuck it.
So after all of that, the President of the United States invites all of them to the White House, and they just have a fun time.
This is the plot to Mac and Me. He just did Mac and Me, but with Willy Wonka.
Oh my god, we gotta get Paul Rudd on the phone.
Call up Paul, baby! We got some info for you, dude! We're about to wreck it!
Which this leads me to what I wanted to talk about. There was going to be a third book in this trilogy that didn't exist.
I'm picking up what you're putting down, baby.
Uh-huh. All we know is that it was going to be Charlie in the White House. Charlie's family and Mr. Wonka are invited by the president to have dinner, and as thanks for rescuing them from the spaceship bad stuff and the vermicious canids. Dahl only wrote the first chapter. But I'm going to say fuck it.
Okay.
Let's not read the first chapter. What's going to happen when Charlie Bucket and Willy Wonka go to the White House?
Okay. So since the ending of the first book was like growing up in the great glass elevator and looking around and being like, this is your world now, Charlie. What's that dark place over there? That is Harlem. We do not speak of that place, Charlie. And then the beginning takes that and then goes a buck wild left to where they go into space. So they're at the end of the second book, I assume they're all getting the fucking medals put on except for the Wookiee.
Yep. Well, they do have a Wookiee there, yeah.
Beginning of the first book, an alien spacecraft comes in and straight up Independence Days the White House, and the only survivors are Charlie and I'm trying to think. Could it just be Charlie?
Okay, here's what we need to do. And I think that Willy Wonka still needs to be there because I'm pretty sure that he's never going to actually die.
No, Blake. He's assumed dead. We're saving this. This is a reveal.
Okay. So this is what we do. Charlie, he's got the glass elevator working his own way now. He's going. The prologue is just him fucking around in Antarctica, where he's studying the super blue Antarctica space seals that glow at night, and they recite the songs of their ancestors, and also they know where this super cool candy is that's very cold.
I genuinely, this was my thought process, which is the aliens attack, the aliens now take over the world. Willy Wonka, in his quote-unquote dying breaths, is like, here, Charlie, this is what you must do. This is what your destiny is, to defeat the aliens. Also, this is still a Willy Wonka story. Charlie looks at his destiny. He rejects it, and Dr. Manhattan's back up onto the moon and stays there for 25 years.
Yeah. Okay, so the opening. Charlie's finishing with his research, and he's going to have lunch with the president or whatever.
Yeah.
Willy Wonka's already there because he sends him a super cool communication. Charlie lands on the green in front of the White House, and that's when it's destroyed by aliens. The scene that you were talking about happens, and Charlie is on his fucking way.
Okay, how far in the future is this from the ending of the second book?
It can't be too long. Let's say like 6 months.
6 months? Okay.
Charlie's had enough...
So Charlie is a 10-year-old just pimping at the Antarctic with some polar bears and shit.
Hey, listen, you forget this is a Roald Dahl book still, though.
Yeah, and also, he's got the money. He owns the best chocolate factory in town, baby.
As a matter of fact, it's just kind of Charlie, and he's doing the whole thing. Like, Wonka bounced.
Yeah.
Like, Wonka was like, sweet, dude, you're my heir now, so I can actually go do shit again.
Yeah. So, the White House blows up. Charlie goes to space and rejects his destiny for 25 years.
Is Willy Wonka and Charlie just the OG Rick and Morty?
Yes. Eventually, who finds him? I don't think this is what they did with her, but this is what I'm gonna say they did with her. Violet Beauregard is fucking floating through space like gravity, lands on the moon, and she's like, get me back to my family. Please, I've been here for so long. And Charlie goes, fine. Takes them back to Earth. Somehow he finds...
Now, this is Violet Beauregard. I don't remember what happens in the book version of her, but she gets juiced and stretched out, let's just say.
Oh, okay.
So,
well, in my version, she's launched into space and then just lives there now. Because that seems like the most Willy Wonka-ass thing to do.
Maybe because Charlie is gone, they have to put together a team of the only people that know how to harness the whimsy of Willy Wonka. And those are the children that he had to teach the harshest lessons to.
The 4 allegedly dead children. And they're zombies. And so the first half, let's say first half of the book, Charlie's still on the moon and we don't hear from him. Also, it's some straight up Mad Max world. Like, it is the desert.
So that's what happens when the aliens invade. What are all of the kids' powers from, like, all of the crazy stuff that happened to them in the factory?
Violet has Elastigirl powers, because she can stretch out back and forth.
Mike TV is just really small.
Oh, is that what happened to Mike in the actual book? I can't remember. We're gonna have to cover kid death real quick.
Oh, yeah, kid death time.
So, Violet got blown up into a blueberry and then stretched out so she has Elastigirl powers. Mike TV, I thought he just got, hypnotized from watching TV too much.
Let's see.
Blake casually Googling how them kids die in Willy Wonka.
Yeah. No, Mike does just get shrunk like he does in the movie.
Okay, so he's got Ant-Man powers. I was going to give him,
He found out how he could grow and shrink again.
I was gonna give him, like, super intelligence from being in front of the TV for so much, but no, I prefer Ant-Man powers, Elastigirl. Augustus Gloop just kind of gets sucked up into a fat tube, don't he?
Well, he gets cooked with the chocolate, so he actually becomes chocolate.
Oh.
Let's just say that.
Okay, I'm gonna counter that. He spent his whole childhood being Tubby. And he was, since everyone else escaped the aliens, he was the first one caught. And over the following 25 years, he spent all his time in the rock mines getting jacked as shit. And he is just this massive, hulking beast with super strength.
I thought for a second you were gonna go back to, and he got captured. And so he killed a lot of Japanese people. And then he became the Ronin.
He's the Ronin. And then finally we've got, who was the fourth child?
Veruca Salt, who, the only thing that happened to her is she made a bunch of squirrels mad and they threw her out in the trash. So what I think happens to her is, like, she learns from that, and she essentially becomes Squirrel Girl.
Thank you. I was like, we need Squirrel Girl. So we've got, essentially, using analogs, Squirrel Girl, Mr. Fantastic, Thing, and
Ant-Man.
And Ant-Man all teaming up. And Dr. Manhattan on the fucking moon.
Yep, because he knows, like, he's channeled all of the aspects of man and creation. He could do it if he wanted. And also he's got the really cool elevator.
Yeah.
I bet it's got lasers.
Okay. So I think since we wasted so much time talking about the sequel, we've got to speed it up on the third. And I have an idea.
Mm-hmm.
It goes through, like, this epic battle. As Charlotte, like, we see the four battle, but they keep getting, like, knocked back, but they want to go, like, take on the Spire, which is where the lead alien is. And then they're like, we can't do it. And this is the halfway point. Whoosh. Who comes down? Fucking Goku. Wait, no, Charlie Bucket.
What?
Charlie Bucket is like, let's take it on. We can defeat them. And over the next half of the book, they go into battle. And it's like battles that are testing them and testing their might and their strength. And throughout the battles, you slowly watch as each of the children are once again taken and beaten down by these massive hulking orange aliens.
So what happens is it's essentially a repeat of the first book, but it's like each of them are quote unquote sacrificing themselves so the group can move forward.
Yes. And then eventually the last person, I like to think, who do we want Charlie's love interest to be? Veruca or the other Violet?
I think this could be a real I think this could be how Veruca Salt becomes a lovable character, because she was like a spiteful, spoiled brat in the first one, and as she has come to learn and love the squirrels, she knows that she can have empathy for other creatures, and she and Charlie kind of hit it off, but the squirrels keep getting in the way every time they want to kiss.
And so, like, they both launch themselves at the top of the spire. Charlie grabs on, she slides down, he grabs her hand, and there's just like this horde of creatures climbing up, looking a bit like squirrels. And she's the last one left, and she just goes, and Charlie's like, I can't hold on, and she goes, let go, Charlie. Let go. It's okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, I want her to do something cool before she's enveloped by the weird squirrels. She calls all of her squirrels out.
Yeah.
And they just envelop her like a ball as she falls, and it's a big explosion.
Yeah. So, okay. And then Charlie launches himself back up, and there is a chair faced away from him. And you just hear... and the chair slowly turns around, and all the aliens are like predators, so they have helmets on. And it's this massive alien with a predator helmet on. And he slowly removes it. And he goes, congratulations, Charlie! You've done it!
You've done it! You did it!
You can now truly become my heir apparent. And Charlie now has levitation powers. And he battles Willy Wonka for supremacy. And the whole time Wonka is like repeating lines from the monologue. Like, I said good day, sir! As he's hitting him off.
Oh, And is this the moment where it's gonna be like, where the Avengers theme kicks in and like everyone else comes to Charlie's aid, except they do it in the anime style where they don't help him fight, but they just cheer him on.
Yeah. Well, no. 3 of them come back, and Charlie's like, my friends are alive, but... And then Veruca's not there. And then climbs up. Veruca is the last bit of inspiration he needs to kill Willy Wonka and ascend to the throne. And so what's the name of this one? I mean, do we want to give him a superhero team name? Because then it could be Charlie and the blank.
Yeah.
Charlie and the Punch Boys.
Charlie and the Candy Crew.
Charlie and the fucking Candy Crew.
Candy Crew.
Oh, hell yes. Oh, man, now I'm just hungry. I want some candy. But you know, if I'm gonna go...
I'm just listening to the Avengers theme right now, so...
Well, thank God you're not playing it, because we'd have to pay some royalties, and if we were gonna afford those royalties, we were gonna have to go to the shill station.
Ding, ding.
So Blakey T, I got a question for you. What happens when the world's been taken over by aliens and possibly Willy Wonka, and you're just so naked and are crawling through the desert looking for something to keep you safe and also something to quench your thirst? Where could you go?
merch.aloadofpurebs.com.
Ooh, what can I get at merch.aloadofpurebs.com, Blake?
You can get shirts. You can get posters. You can get cups.
We got cups! Cups to contain the water to quench your thirst in the disappointing apocalyptic deserts. But then, I want...
Or for something you could toast with your friends after a hard battle and you win.
Mm-hmm. But, what if these people are nice? What if they don't live in the desert? What if it's Willy Wonka up in that fucking spire and he just wants to help people out and they want to help us out? Where could they go for that?
I'm sorry, Ghazi's been distracting me in the chat. He's been making Tibbs go crazy. So, if you want to really help us out, even if it's just giving us a shout out or something, go to patreon.com/aloadofbs. And you know what? If you click that button, you can give us money. And that is the sweetest thing of all.
Patreon's Blake's favorite website, because it's the website that's forcing him to watch terrible movies, because Patreon's the only place where you get access to our show. You paid for this, where me and Blake watch terrible movies and commentate over them, like Mystery Science Theater, Riff Tracks, and we did the Ghost Rider, didn't we, Blake? We did the good old Ghost Rider.
We did Cat in the Hat.
I did force Blake to watch Cat in the Hat. It was a wondrous time. I think. But yeah, if you want to check us commentating that, make sure to donate at Patreon. You also get shouted out on the show of your choice, like my mom and dad, the Patreon saints of the BS, and of course the first mate of the BS, Salty Frank of the Seven Seas. You also get access to our Discord, where every time we go live, you get notified about it. All kinds of awesome stuff waiting for you at patreon.com/aloadofbs.
Yeah. Also, special shout out today to Ghazi, because he does donate money. A lot of it.
Yeah, Ghazi earlier today basically announced that he is the Patreon champion of the world, because when I had a baby, he, being a good boy, was like, oh, you're having a baby, you need money, and upped to $25 a month. So if you guys want to beat him out as Patreon champ, gotta get that $26 a month, baby. You can do it. Patreon.com/aloadofbs.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following event is scheduled for one clusterfuck and is set to occur in Birmingham, Alabama. Introducing first, he is the bearded man from the Badlands, the absolute Badlands, Scottye Moore. And in the other corner, sporting the modest Plaid on plaid, the man with the plaid crown. The plaid is plaid on the plaid, the man who knows nothing about wrestling and everything about plaid, Blake Tanner.
I'm sorry, was I supposed to do something there? I thought this was just you two.
Oh,
No, that's Dylan. Hey, Dylan.
And we are the Fight Boys, and it's a show about professional and not so professional wrestling. Make sure to check us out, because when you're a fight boy, you're a fight boy for life. So, Blake Tanner, it's now my job on this show to bring forth, like, ideas that will get the SEO going so the people will search for this show. Because as the person who has to advertise and have to make the tags on YouTube, for Fight Boys, I can always be like, oh yeah, we talked about this news story, so I can put that in the tags. Fight Boy, or BS, you know how hard it is to make up tags that people will search for? I can be like, Matilda with fucking Fortnite. People will look that shit up all the fucking time.
Say Independence Day Charlie.
Independence Day Charlie, you got this. But
Are we just gonna do Fushnickens again?
We could do Fushnickens again and get 5,000 listeners. Now, I want to talk about a story that recently happened and took Twitter by storm. And it's the tale of just the smallest man I've ever seen on the planet, who was apparently very upset at a Bagel Boss.
Oh, I've seen this one, yes.
And no one says, like, Frank in the chat just goes, tackle me! And apparently he's mad because women were like, he thinks, he was, what's it called when you're putting an idea out into the world that doesn't actually exist? That's what he was doing, because he thought they were laughing at how short he was, because he was a tiny boy.
He was a small man, he was also being an absolute fucking cock.
He was projecting the thought that women laugh at him. So the video starts, and he's already at 100. This video does not go 0 to 100. He's just turning around just like, fuck you! You think I need to take the fucking women saying, like, cause I'm 5 foot tall, I should kill myself? They do the snicker with the biting lip, which I thought was a very good addition of, like, not just a normal snicker with a biting lip on there.
With the biting lip. This is one of those situations where I'm just like, I wish someone would have started filming sooner.
Yeah.
I wanted to see what was the inciting incident to making this, because it's like, this is probably just the last straw. Something bad has just happened.
Yeah.
Something has just, like, upset this person to the point that he's taking it out on someone that doesn't deserve it, and that's why I'm glad he got tackled. But not because I'm pretty sure he's had it rough.
Don't get ahead of me now, because after that, he then goes on to the male people in the audience, screaming just like, "You're not my dad, my God, or my boss. You don't say anything about me. You can't tell me what to do." And this is the point where I'm so happy I wasn't there, because I would have started talking so much shit. Because he, like, tries to get in the dude's face, but he's so short that he looks like the fucking penguin just waddling up to this dude. And I would have, like, in an instant been like, "We represent the Lollipop Guild," and then super kicked him in the face.
I would have loved it if you actually did that, so hats off. He should really just take it like Danny DeVito did and just get a fantastic wife.
Yeah. Well, then he looks at another guy and just screams like, "Yeah, you want to go? Tackle me!" And that's where he fucked up. Because then, I don't know if it's how tiny he was, or this was just like a 7 foot tall motherfucker rushes in and just takes him out. And, like, he fits between the man's arms and his legs. Like, he was torso length on this man, as he's now just, like, holding him in place.
Oh, man. I like to think that it was just a really tall dude who was like, alright, I can do... This is gonna be my job today, I guess.
Okay, so we're now making the 4th Willy Wonka film, and this is an Oompa Loompa that got loose. And he's real mad at the world.
It's called Oompa, the Loompa in the big city.
No, it's just called Oompa, and it's like the trailer for Joker, where it's just like this guy's life going downhill. Then at the end, you just see Oompa, and that's it. So
they call me Oompa.
What are you proposing? We kill the tall man. Which one? There's a lot of tall guys. Every tall man.
He's talking to a room of other Oompa Loompas, and he's just like, I need to get back to making the candy, man. Are you done?
Let's kill the tall Do you want to see a magic trick? Pulls out a fucking pixie stick. Puts it through a guy's dome.
Do you mean our boss? It's the kid now. He's not tall.
Oh man, they could be going after Willy Wonka. Okay, let's think. Do we want to go the Oompa route, or do we just want to make a villainous movie? Because, like, that's all the rage now. There was the Suicide Squads and the Jokers. So what we could do is, how about this? The kids at school make fun of him and call him Oompa.
Oh.
But he's like, no, I'm Chet. I'm Chet, not Oompa.
Just call me Chet. Tackle me.
Tackle me, motherfucker. Okay, so the plot is maybe he's like, how old do we want him to be in his 40s at this point? Or do we want to build up? Do we want that to be the inciting incident at the end of the film and he gets mad, pulls out a gun, shoots everybody, then leaves? And as he leaves, he spray tans and then dyes his hair green. And then they're like, it's him! He's the Oompa now!
No. So things happen exactly as they do in the video.
Yeah.
But you don't see... He escapes. The tall dude chases him into a factory. Where he falls into a vat of bleach.
No, he runs him into a chocolate factory. And he falls in a vat of caramel, and it dyes him orange.
Oh, sorry. And then he falls into a vat of bleach, which is at the candy factory.
Yeah, the good old candy bleach, you know. Or do we do this? Because at this point, we cannot have him in any way be because, like, the Joker story is sad, and if you didn't know... If we don't have this guy be a dick, it just kind of ends on a sad note if he falls in the vat. Instead, could we have him snap and, like, pull... I don't know why I'm going this vicious. Pull out a fucking straw and stab the dude in the neck with it as he's tackled him. And now everyone's like, oh no. Police pull up, runs from the police into the chocolate factory, falls in the vat of caramel, into the vat of cowtails. So it's still got the cream that keeps him a little bit... Also, it dyes his hair green for some reason.
It dyes his hair green!
It's either that it dyes his hair green or it's so sticky he's forced to shave his head and then puts on a green wig to commit his first crime.
Oh,
okay.
Well, maybe he joins a group and they make him put on a green wig to commit his first crime.
Yes! That's absolutely it, because, like, he's still on the... No. What it could be is, like, there's a gang trying to get him, and it's a gang of the people who are caught doing dumb shit on the internet, and they're like, come on, join us. And he's like, I'm not gonna do that. That's not who I am, man. Because, like, there'll be a secondary video made earlier in his life that was embarrassing him from, like, 18 to 40, which is where we're at now, which is when the Bagel Boss video is made.
Oh, man.
And so after he falls in the vat, he comes out and then he puts on the wig and just slowly, like, this is where we get that Dark Knight scene. Walks into shitty YouTube headquarters, sits down and is like...
I'm sorry, what's shitty YouTube?
It's all the people who were shit... Like, the guy... Did you see the video of the fucking idiot who was following around John Cena in, like, a tea shop?
Yep.
Yeah, where at the end, I've never been second-hand intimidated until I saw John Cena look at this motherfucker as he was like, hey man, I'd like to give you some advice, because he had like that gangster British accent, and then John just looks at him and he goes, no, I've got advice for you. Have respect. have respect for some people. He's like, I do respect you, Matt. And he's like, no, you don't.
No, you don't.
You didn't respect me when I told you to stop filming. You keep filming me throughout this story. You're a creep. He goes, I'm famous. Dude had 4,000 subscribers, and John's like, I don't give a damn who you are, and then walks away. So that guy's in there.
Yep.
Every single white woman who called the cops on a black family just enjoying a meal at the park, they're in there.
Are we making an axis of evil for our, like, chocolate Avengers to fight?
Holy shit, you're right! You're so right! We're making the villain backstory, except, okay, so what it is the whole time you're thinking that OOMPA is not going to join them, you're thinking that OOMPA's going to turn against them, and then at the end he sits down and he pulls out a gun and they're like, so, you ready to join? And then who's the leader? Who's done the most embarrassing thing on the internet so far? That was caught like on video.
Oh, it's the Paul brothers.
Oh no, because yeah, that's a good one too. I was gonna say Charlie Sheen, but I feel like Logan Paul is definitely the leader.
Yep.
And OOMPA, it makes me laugh every time I remember his name's fucking OOMPA. Sits down, and they're like, so you ready to join? And he goes, no. And then shoots Logan Paul in the fucking head, and he goes, I'm ready to lead. OOMPA! Credits! Into film. Salty Frank sits, one of the fucking dudes after he shoots Logan Paul sits up and goes, I have the power of God and anime on my side. Oh fuck. Okay, yeah, we got the SEO for this one. I can put Logan Paul in the tags. I can put whatever I'm gonna say KSI, so I can now put KSI in there. Is that a thing anymore?
No, but sure. So we've made another cinematic universe.
We've made the Willy Wonka well, hold on. Because it's not confirmed that he runs into Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. Because
now it is.
It is now. This is like 20 years after the alien invasion's gone. The world's slowly rebuilding itself, and this is like this town's branch of the Willy Wonka chocolate factories. And he runs in and falls in the vat of. So okay, if this is the Joker comparison, who's his Batman? Is it one of the Five Candy crew, or is it a different man?
Oh, for OOMPA, I think that OOMPA really, like, he knows that it's Charlie's Chocolate Factory at this point. He knows who made him the man that he is, even though he didn't know him personally. And so he's taking it out on him. He's like getting at real Oompa Loompas. He's inciting violence, and he's hurting them, and he pulls Charlie out from his candy expeditions, his love and creation of more, and he becomes the villain that Charlie Bucket needs.
So, wait a minute. Okay, the police chase him in, but then Charlie, since it is his chocolate factory, is the one who stops him and chases him into the caramel vat. That's what happens. Also, the title of this film is Willy Wonka's Chocolate and Defense Department Factory.
That's a good old C&D.
The good old C&D. Oh, fuck. Do we want... Okay, we've literally fleshed out the ending to this movie perfectly. We've got no idea what happens before this. Is it just a bunch of sad things about him living alone with his mom who gets killed by a tall person?
Yep.
Oh, no. What it could be? She dies in the crossfire of like a supervillain superhero incident.
And it's Mike TV when he gets real big.
Yeah. Or I was gonna say either that or Violet when she stretches super tall.
Mm-hmm.
All of them are tall at the time. It's not explained why. Like, they look over at fucking jacked up Augustus, and he's just wearing platforms for no reason.
Maybe the gloop as he's gonna be called now.
The Gloop! Yes!
Maybe he's just real tall on his own.
Yeah. Okay, so
he's a real jacked boy. He found out how to turn chocolate into muscles.
Mm-hmm. So Joker, before Joker did what he did. Oh! What if he works at the Bagel Boss? And the part of the video we haven't seen is him getting fired from the Bagel Boss.
And he comes right back around and he just starts starting shit at the Bagel Boss.
Yeah, because like he's been, you could see like ever since his mom died at the hands of whatever supervillain we want to say, at the hands of Logan Paul. He that's why he kills him at the end. You see,
mm-hmm. And Logan Paul is probably tall.
Yeah. After she dies at the hands of Logan Paul, he gets a lot more like on edge and a lot more abusive, and so he starts screaming at everybody at the Bagel Boss, mostly the women, because they always kind of make like there'll be a scene where they'll be in a room making some like short jokes because everyone else there is a teenaged girl and they're little immature people, and he walks by and he like hears them, and it's a shot of them laughing. It's blurry background, then they go blurry, background gets solid, and you just see fucking OOMPA staring sadly at them.
Yep. They don't see him, but he knows. And also, like, there's this one actual like store manager, let's say, that he's really into and he really likes, and he asks her out on a date and she says no.
Oh, just no?
Oh yeah, she just says no.
Yeah, but he thinks it's a huge rejection, but all she says is like, no, I can't this weekend, I have to do my hair, and he's like, I know what that means.
I'm sorry, I mean, you're great, OOMPA, but I've got
No,
a
she's the one person who calls him Chet. Everyone else calls him OOMPA. And I do think that at least one of the teenage girls does need to say the line of, like, if you're 5 foot tall, you might as well kill yourself at this point. And that's kind of one of the other things that set him off, basically.
She either says it, she says it talking about him, or she says it about somebody that, like, asked her out or something.
Now, I do want her to have a boyfriend. Is it Charlie or is it Logan Paul? Which one is it?
Yeah, let's just say...
Or is it the tall man that tackles
him
and then stabs him in the neck?
I think that it's... I love the idea that it's Logan Paul and she doesn't, like, know that he does the villain thing.
Yeah.
But I also like the idea that, like, you come up and Logan Paul's obviously using her.
Yeah. Well, not only that, that's how we introduce the concept of shitty YouTube trying to get OOMPA in. That's how he meets Logan, is through that.
I just love the idea that their team is just called Shitty YouTube.
It's just like, shitty YouTube, boys.
We all know what we've done.
It's either that or Mount Fuji, for the obvious Logan Paul reason.
Can it just be called SEO?
It's called... It's called fucking SEO, and everybody's there, baby. Chewbacca Mom. She had a real dark turn at some point. Everybody's there, getting ready. Fortnite, all of Fortnite's there, just getting ready to take the world.
Oh man, what's in this old closet? I don't know. Oh shit, it's Tay-Zonday Skeleton.
Tay-Zonday, what are you there for? Well, Blake, I don't think we've ever done something where in both segments we fully connected the films, but we've made the hit films of OOMPA and fucking Charlie and the Candy Crush crew or whatever. But now I have to ask you a very important question. What was awesome this week?
Living on my own. That's it?
Yeah.
I got all my art up. You got my TV up. I have to live, man.
I mean, I'm noticing a different, like, the minute, I believe it was the same week that you moved in, you're like, I got a date with somebody, and I'm, like, going out tonight, and I'm like, this is all it's taken for the 7 years I've known you. Just gotta put you in your own place, and it happens.
It just happens, man. I don't know. My dog's up there. Look at him. He's cool.
Dog's hanging out. Dog's
How
in
you
the
doing,
closet.
Wellington? Dog in the closet, baby.
Oh shit, Frank says apparently the actual Bagel Boss guy has a shitty YouTube channel that's just him yelling at people in public. So, what the fuck? Does he have a camera crew that follows him around as he's just being shitty at people?
Oh man, I love this idea.
This is what happens after he joins shitty YouTube. He's just like, because they're just like, I mean, we're not popular anymore. No one knows who we are. And he's like, then we need to get more videos. How? No, not everyone films us. Then we film ourselves. And it's a real Peter Parker bringing the fucking pictures of Spider-Man to J. Jonah Jameson situation.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but I think, damn it, I gotta move on because otherwise we could spend literally all year on the OOMPA script.
That, I feel why we, needed to move away from our, beefy Game of Thrones series.
Yeah. We had to throw away Game of Beef so OOMPA could... Game of Beef walked so OOMPA could run.
Well, no, we just made the 8th season of Game of Beef really shitty.
Well, my thing that's awesome this week is I'm gonna pop some tags. Only got $20 in my pocket. I'm hunting, looking for a come up. The fucking thrift show stores are fucking awesome.
Do you remember when we would warm up to that song in our acting class in college?
Holy shit, you're right. I forgot about that.
Oh, man.
That was a good song, though, man. I loved it. Also, I downloaded Twitch Sings, which has, every song on it, and last night I just had my own karaoke party in my room, so that's a secondary awesome thing, but yeah, I realized, so, it's gonna get slightly serious. I've gotten bigger since college, and in that, my mind is but if you still wear the little clothes, no one will know. It will instantly transform you. Then I watched all 3 seasons of Queer Eye, and they're like, no, you don't need to do that, actually. You need to get normal size clothes for your figure. So, eventually, Emily finally wore me down. It was like, look, I understand you want to pay a lot, so let's go to the thrift store and pick you out 10 shirts for work and a few blazers. And I went, you know what, fine, we can do it. So we went to the thrift store. I picked up 10 shirts. I got these dope ass, I can't show them because my legs can't go that high on the camera, but they're silver leopard print jeggings. And it's my new aesthetic, I'll tell you that right now. I got a skirt because I could. It was $3. And homeboy, if I want to just try to reveal what's underneath, it's too hot for pants, homeboy. So
hold on, let me just
quit showing off.
Stretch it a little bit.
Damn it, you said... that was another bit of what we like to call physical humor for our listeners. Blake is lifting his legs in the air, I believe. Oh, that's a cramp. That's a cramp he's got right now. Go eat some
Had to pull that one out. Ugh.
But, yeah, just going through the thrift store and finding so much... even the one we have in town, it's not a good thrift store, but there was still awesome shit there to, hang and pick out. I can't remember what brand this is. Oh, wait, it's on the thing. Rockin' Republic, who the only reason I know them is because the name is Rock in it, so I'm like, these are heavy metal shirts, yeah! So I got I got a dope Rockin' Republic shirts, 3 new suits, 2 awesome pairs of pants. I'm like, fuck yeah, thrift stores! They're amazing! So yeah.
Yeah.
When I think about what's awesome this week, thrift store shopping, my boy, it's absolutely amazing. But until next time, Blakey T.
Oh, another thing.
Okay,
real quick.
What else is awesome?
I just wanted to say, friend of ours, Lee Shackelford,
Yep.
from the Relativity podcast, he said that we should do some, at our first live show, heavy metal knitting.
Yeah, apparently heavy metal knitting is a thing, which it's kind of like doing the motions for an air guitar really close, but with knitting needles in your hands. So I was like, oh, hell yeah.
Bud. It's let's just knit some shit, baby.
So we're going to do heavy metal knitting. We've got to get the Whiskey Bear to come in and not give people whiskey for our show, But if he wants to steal the whiskey and give it out, the bear can do that at Dragon
That's
Con.
the whiskey bear. It must be from Night Vale.
Oh yeah, that I don't know if I could say this, but fuck it, I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm apparently moderating a panel with, like, that's fully welcome to Night Vale, and they told me that, and then I went, I've never listened to an episode of Welcome to Night Vale before in my life. What am I gonna do? So I've been going back and listening to older episodes of Night Vale, and it's a slow start, but it's a surprisingly good podcast when you get into it.
I thought you were going to say it's a slow descent into madness, which is what it also is.
Yeah. Oh, also, if we're going to do quick podcast recommendations, I think we have a sister podcast now. Because I found a show that is very, very similar to our premise of, like, making movies and stuff. And it's our friend Zach Moore's podcast, The Uncharacters, where every week they make, like, different characters and then write full-on monologues for them. It's like what we do, but a lot less bullshit and a whole lot more like, okay, we gotta make this and we gotta add this. And I'm like, all right, guys, that's cool. So I want to give them boys some love this week.
Yeah, less bullshit, more real shit.
Let's bullshit the real shit.
Also, if anybody's listening, if they like Welcome to Night Vale and they want a more British twist on something like that, listen to the Beef and Dairy Network.
Beef and Dairy is very, very good. I was able to get into that before I was able to get into Night Vale. But until after we've now talked about much better podcasts to listen to, everyone's gone. So we might as well plug some shit. Blake, where can they find you on the internet?
You can find me at Blake A. Tanner on the Twitter. You can find me at The Darkroom Vidya on YouTube. They're doing Banjo and Kazooie over there. My friends Josh and BJ. Watch it.
And you can find me on Twitter at ScottyMo, SCOTTYEMO. Buy all my books on Amazon. And if you need some voice acting done, want some graphic design done, whatever you want, go to my Fiverr account and just throw some money over there. It's...
I'm sorry, do you hear that? Do you hear that song?
Yeah.
Who's that? Sitting over there. That's our theme song. That's the song. That's Ric Flair from Tom McGuire and the Brass Holes. That starts and ends our show.
You've never done
Listen to those guys.
You've never done it that early. I was so confused. I was like, is Blake having a stroke? What's happening? And of course, remember to check out Tom and check out the other BS Network programs online at aloadofpurebs.com. Ladies and gentlemen, there's Fight Boys, fun fiction that's about to have its comeback. I'm about to start on our next episode, which is hopefully going to be on Stranger Things Season 3. So make sure to check that out. And of course, remember to support the show. If you can't do that monetarily, we understand, and we've told you everything about patreon.com/aloadofvideos and merch.aloadofpurebs.com that we can. But still, if you want to support us, just leave us a review on iTunes, subscribe to our YouTube channel, or just talk to us on our Twitter accounts about the show. Like, I got so excited when Lee was just like, hey, talk about this at your live show. And I went, oh, okay. Oh,
and if you can't, or if you don't want to do that, just go to iTunes and leave a review.
Yeah, I was just like, oh no, the smart one listens to the show. Uh-oh. And of course, remember to follow Blake and me on Twitter at aloadofpurebs, except no substitutes, because we will see you next